kind of amazing how things don't quite go as planned. Everyone, it's Pingy here reporting from a lovely town called Skipton, just about 50 k's outside Ballarat. Initially what was supposed to have happened was this was supposed to be halfway throughout my bike hike, where day one it was supposed to be a trip from Ballarat to Skipton, 50 k's via the Ballarat-Skipton Rail Trail, and day two was initially supposed to be here and actually cycle all the way to Beaufort and then take the rail back to Melbourne. Well, it didn't really end up like that, so here's what there is to report so far. Oh Christ, what have I got myself into? Just arrived at Scarsdale. Still a long way to go before I get to the halfway checkpoint down at Linton. Can't wait to get there, I can tell you. I thought I'd stop here because I'm on the Newman's Bridge at the moment, and this view is spectacular. You've got to have a look at this, check it out. I've always wanted to do this, check this out. Hey you! You know what you are? You're a big fat cow! What have I got myself into? Well, I've arrived at Linton, and as you can see, I am just absolutely exhausted. I actually had to walk the last 5 kilometres here to get here, and there's another 20 to go before I get to Skipton for tonight. Now the next challenge that lays ahead is actually getting there before dark. It's probably not going to be safe to ride the trail whilst it's dark, but the Glenelg Highway is always close by, so I'll probably use that instead because it's pretty well lighted and I'll be able to get there. So wish me luck. So to fill you in after what you saw when I was at Linton, pretty much walked majority of the way because of the fact the chafing was getting really bad as that sounds. Was experiencing cramps, and yeah, the fitness just wasn't really near good enough to actually ride a bike trail like that. Ended up in Pittagong, which was probably the last checkpoint. It was about 12 k's away from Skipton, and experienced swooping magpies, and it got very, very dark, and ended up stranded there for quite some time. So it was a pretty scary experience because it was getting towards 6 o'clock in the evening, and it wasn't really motorists that were going past. Fortunately, one gentleman did stop by and actually gave me a lift back here, who just happens to be the local cop here. So I was pretty fortunate because I was getting quite worried as to what was going on. So here I am. Initially, what's been happening is the fact that I've actually decided to take the bus back to Melbourne and make a nice country drive down here tomorrow to next weekend rather, to pick up my bike. As funny as that is, so I'm not quite finished with Skipton yet. But yeah, it is pretty disappointing not to go through the whole thing. But given what's been happening, I think I probably made the right decision. Yes, Dingerono, harden up. You're a muppet. Initially, there wasn't going to be a muppet in this piece, but there is a very, very worthy candidate since last time. I mean, Jaden Magnuson, I think you're very worthy after the arrogance that you've shown in the heats of the relay, the Olympics, and then just the way that you handled how you failed actually as the lead man. But I think this time the Muppet is someone that should feel embarrassed, and believe me, is embarrassed. Because why I say that is because it's this gentleman that you see before you. I really thought that I could actually do this trip, but as it turned out, retiring halfway through, it's apparent that I'm not. I mean, there are positives that came out of it, but probably the biggest one is it became more clear than ever that I'm clearly not physically cut out to do something like this, and feel a little bit disappointed and embarrassed about it, but I know it's something that I do have to work with, not only the body, but probably also the motor as well. So feel a little bit silly. So yep, my name is Steve, and I am a Muppet.